Difficult at moments like this, no matter where you are, at home or in a studio, to try and find the right words as we welcome you into ours. And Charles, the reaction to a man who fought as much as anyone's ever known.
You know, it's even tougher watching that piece by Ernie. And one of the most, I think that sometimes people look at Craig and they see just a bright suit, and they forget the guy actually went to Northwestern. So clearly, if you go to Northwestern, you're a smart guy. But just a wonderful person. And I know a lot of people are going to say a lot of great things, but when you work for Turner, I've been here almost 20 years, man, and you get to know everybody. You get to, and they're like brothers to you. And I felt like I lost a brother today. And I feel great sadness for myself, but I feel so much sadness for his wife, Stacy, and the kids, because this battle, man, there's no person that I've ever met in my life who wanted to live more. I mean, that guy battled so hard. 3 bone marrow transplants had never been done before. And I should tell Ernie, when we used to go see Sager, when you leave the room with Sager, you feel like, is there anything wrong with that guy? He had the most positive attitude of anybody I ever seen going through that situation. And my life is better, sports is better for knowing Craig Sager.
Kenny?
Just echoing what Charles has said, and I think it's difficult for, I think, Charles and I as well, you know, because, you know, we've been here, like you said, almost 2 decades, and there's never been a day that Craig Sager wasn't here with us at some point. Or you have an opportunity to engage with him. And for the first 2.5 years, he and I shared an office. So, you know, we got to really know each other and tell friends. And honestly, and I said this story earlier today, he's the reason why I'm here at TNT, because he's the first person to actually look at me and go, Kenny, you're pretty good at this. Because at that time, I was really debating whether to go and try to be a coach somewhere, assistant coach, and assistant GM. And he's listening to these conversations in our office, and he goes, why would you do that? You're pretty good at this. This could be your career. This might be the path that you're supposed to be on. And here we are 20 years later. You don't think about those words that way and how prophetic they could be. And this was my path. And so difficult today.
Shaq?
We lost a lot of icons this year. Arnold Palmer, Muhammad Ali, Prince, just the other day, Alan Thicke, and today, you know, just to add on to what Chuck and Kenny are saying, we lost a brother and a friend. Craig always did something special for me when I was playing for the LA Lakers. Friedman's is a famous store here in Atlanta. They go from size 0 to 27. Craig used to tote around 20 pair of size 22. And he would bring them before the pregame interview, and he'd say, Shaq, Bruce wants you to look at these shoes. I look at the shoes, I pick the shoes, the ones I didn't want, and he would bring them back. I never asked him to do it. He just always did it on his own. And, you know, he was a great man. And, you know, what I loved about Craig is he always asked the right question. He was very, very professional. You know, in LA we had a lot of stuff going on, but he never touched on that. He always, you know, touched on the right question, and he brought the best out of everybody. And, you know, for me as a player, at the end of a game, if you got interviewed by Craig Sager, it means you did work. So whenever I saw Craig, I made it a point to try to dominate that game. So at the end, the last person he's talked to on TNT in front of Kenny and Chuck would be me. And, you know, it was a tough day. I was at my office today, and Tara called me, and I wasn't expecting that. Because usually she calls me and says, hey, we're on 8, we're on 7. And I was like, hey, boss. And she said, Craig passed away, and it just shocked. And I know he's in a better place. He'll definitely be missed. There'll never be another Craig Sager. But again, 2016 was a tough year.
You know, it feels... Go ahead, Charles.
I can't... The way the NBA family, and we got to give a shout out to our NBA family, the way the NBA fans and the way the NBA players embraced Sager in the last year, I think it's a testament to how close we are as a family. When you've been in this thing as long as we have, like, you know everybody. I know all the. When I see Magic Johnson and Larry Bird, I feel like, hey, it's a brother I've seen. And now when I go to games, I see LeBron, I see Tracy McGrady, guys like that. I'm like, hey, how y'all guys doing? Like, you're part of a family. And I just want to give a shout out to the NBA fans and to the NBA players, what the love and respect.
Well, a lot of them are too young to even really know Sager like that.
Yes.
And I think I would echo what you're saying.
Yeah.
That was heartwarming and heartfelt back here in the studio when we used to see that.
Yes.
First of all, excuse me, being in this seat tonight, as much as I'm honored to be here, doesn't feel even right for me. It's tough because I was writing down some of the words: father, husband, mentor, example, benchmark, teacher, inspiration, hero. Craig Sager.
Friend,
yes.
There it is.
Can't they send somebody else out here? Sorry, Coach, it's you and me. We trying to bring back the glory of the Celtics. I was bringing back
but as you see, it's working, and that is not.